We're going to go live, custom live stream and broadcasting and all that. So we should be live right now for you on Facebook that you wanted us to be live on. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it on off and let me just cut off your camera there for just a few minutes, if I may. And okay, there we go. I see us rocking and rolling there. Welcome to Messages of Inspiration and Hope. I'm Jim Grant, and it's certainly a pleasure to be here today. We've got a couple of wonderful guests. One lady, this is her third time of being on the show, and we're very excited to have her back. And she's a tremendous lady. She always has a tremendous message. She says, today I got a totally brand new topic, so we're excited about that. But before we get going, let me share my screen and tell you who we're sponsored by and show you a few things. We are sponsored by speakerspathway.com. If you go to speakerspathway.com, this is the top of our homepage, and you can just see we got complimentary gifts. And this here is the Messages of Inspiration, Hope, and Support that we have here. These are some of our speakers. If you click on that, it will take you to a page just like this. And as you can see, we have a bunch of speakers there individually. Each speaker has their individual talk there. And we've got pages and pages and pages. And we're going to be alphabetizing those A through Z so you can find a speaker a lot easier. Let me click on page number 8, for example. And let's see. We've had this young lady on twice. Nancy Benitez, if you're interested in Nancy and what she has to say there. That's her presentation. 4 things men can do to stay grounded in times of uncertainty and chaos. And this is a bio about her. And so most importantly, whenever you get in touch with these speakers and you listen to any message there, please let them know. And let them know and say, thank you. I really appreciated your message. I'm so grateful that you were here, and I want to share your message with someone else, because that's very, very important. Because you can see we got all kind of interesting speakers here. They got a lot of topics. In fact, we get just about all the bases covered and still some. And it's just really a wonderful opportunity for these folks who come together and donate their time to be able to share their message of inspiration and hope for you. And be sure and share this with others and let the speakers know you thank them for what they've done. Also, we are sponsored by the 6-Minute Webinar. The 6-Minute Webinar is really one of the neatest programs that we're involved with. It enables you to be able to get your message over in a very clear, concise time limit of 6 minutes or less with a call to action. Because too many webinars, they go on and on and on, and they drag on forever, and people don't have that kind of time or that kind of patience. So the 6-Minute Webinar, it is a wonderful tool that will help you get your product introduced to a person or to a group of people, and it has a call to action. It's been so popular and so well liked, we've been asked, and we actually did, we put together a 6-Minute Webinar affiliate program. And this will share with you about our affiliate program. So if you're an affiliate and you're interested in that, just go there. You can see we pay 25% commissions. And if that's your thing, we'd love to have you, and it's a chance for you to be able to help others. But right now, our very first speaker, this young lady has been on this is her 3rd time. Can you imagine her still wanting to put up with me after all this time? I'm going to send you a request her to turn your video on, Ms. Maya, excuse me. And let me give you the spotlight there, if I may. Welcome back. The thing that I like about it, when you deliver your presentations, you always deliver with energy and passion. That's the 2 things that I remember about you, and I really salute you on that. And your topic today will be emancipate yourself from inner slavery. And before we went live, ladies and gentlemen, since this was her 3rd time back, I told her, I said, when you're on the show for the 4th time, you automatically qualify to be the host, and I'll just sit on the side and have a coffee break.
Sounds good.
Oh, yeah. Let me mute my mic and shut off my video, because the stage is yours.
Thank you. So my name is Vismaya Rubin. I am the founder of Living in Gratitude Today. I'm a teacher, speaker, best-selling author, but my favorite role is that of a gratitude gangster. What? So I'm going to play a song for you today. The thought was I was going to sing to you, but I wanted you to stay the full time of my talk. So let's see if this works. The first time I'm doing this, so we're going to try it out. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. No matter what sounds can free our mind. So if you heard it, it was the lyrics from Bob Marley's song, the Redemption Song, and it's emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. When we free our minds from the mental chains that hold us back, what happens? It feels good, right? So why should we do this? There's three main reasons I came up with. One, it feels good. Who doesn't want to feel better? The second reason is that when we feel better, our relationships thrive, right? As human beings, we want to belong to groups. We want to feel loved. We want to belong to community. And who doesn't want a more juicy, delicious, yummy relationship with ourselves and with the people that we're closest to? And if you have an intimate relationship, I don't need to tell you what happens when you are free and when you're feeling better and when you have a juicy relationship. You can figure that one out on your own. And the last reason is really something that we don't think about. When we free our minds, we can create. And when we can create, we produce. And when we produce, we make more, más dinero, more money. And really, isn't that what we want also? We want to be free and happy and have great relationships and be abundant. So those are three reasons why we need to free our minds. But a lot of times you hear speakers talk about what people need to do, what they should do, and they should on you a lot, but then they don't tell you the how. So here's how. These are some action steps that you can take right now. And at the end of the talk, I'll share with you how you can get a gratitude action planner. They're free. So the first thing that we need to do is that we get to quiet that inner mean girl or boy that talks to us. Now, what does that person say? That person goes, you can't do that. It's too hard. Why are you even trying? Are you crazy? That's been done before. Sit down, don't do it. You have so much on your plate already. You're tired. You're going to take on something else. You get the picture, right? It's the one that constantly drags you down. It's the one that constantly tells you that you're insignificant, that you can't do something, that you're not strong enough, that you have too much to do. But I want you to think about something. That person is really your friend. I know it sounds crazy, but that person is really your friend because what they're trying to do is to protect you from doing something that may be challenging. They want to keep you safe. It feels like they want to keep you small, but really the mentality or the idea is it wants to keep you safe. And how do we keep you safe? By keeping you doing the same things that you're always doing. So what do we do? How do we tell that person? How do we stop that voice from constantly running amok in our head? The first thing you do is you say, thank you for caring. Thank you for sharing. And then you come back with a mantra, some phrase that motivates you, that inspires you, that every time you hear it, it lights you up. And the key is to know that phrase ahead of time. So be prepared, be proactive. And the one that I use all the time is the universe has my back. The universe has my back. The universe has my back. That's one of them. The second one that I love to use is today is going to be a magical day. So those are the two that I go to, but the one I use more is the universe has my back. Today is going to be a great day, I say when I wake up. So every time I have a voice that comes in and a doubt or fear or frustration, or the voice goes, oh my God, why me? Why is this happening? I repeat that mantra. I repeat that saying, and what it does is it silences that voice. It closes the door and says, all right, I've had enough. And then I have the space again to be able to create. I have the space again to be able to do the things that I want to do. So Step number 2. So step number 1 is quiet the mean boy or girl that's inside of our mind. Step number 2 is set yourself up for success. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you're right. So the positive thinking is great, believing that you can do it. Yes, I can do it. And that's the first step. When we quiet the mind, we have those thoughts. Yes, I can do it. I can do it. But here's the catch. If you're going to be successful, you need to have a plan in place. Architectures don't start to build a building right away. They put a plan in place. They gather information. They set a floor plan, and then the contractors can then take that and build. Same thing with our life. We have these great ideas and we have these wonderful plans and thoughts and actions. But if we don't have a plan in place, if we don't do our research first, if we don't align with people who maybe have done something similar, get a coach, participate in a program, listen to podcasts like the one you're listening to right now. If we don't have a plan in place, what happens is it might get a little challenging, whatever we're trying to do. And I go, oh, forget it. I can't do it. That voice was right. Oh, it's a little too hard. I don't know what to do. And you go into a space of overwhelm. Well, when you put a plan in place, you have ways to overcome that. You do your research. You have someone you can talk to. You have, there are tons of groups on Facebook that you can reach out and do some research and explore and ask questions and throw your ideas out there and see what people think before you create something or attempt to create something. And you're like, oh my God, you're up to your eyeballs and you don't know where to start. So set yourself up for success means put a plan in place and then get people on your side that can support you to do that. Find the mentors, the coaches, the support system, your accountability buddies that hold you accountable to say, hey, you said you were going to do X, Y, Z. Did you get it done? The third step is really my favorite. You can see it as I'm speaking. It is my absolute favorite. And the third step is to celebrate all of your wins. You heard me introduce myself as saying my favorite role is a gratitude gangsta. What? And to celebrate all your wins really taps into that space of gratitude. And a lot of people say to me all the time, how do I do that? And the simplest way is if you don't have a gratitude journal, grab a notebook. And the only thing that goes in this notebook are your gratitude wins. Who or what made a difference for me? What did I do for myself today? Did I do something new or nice? And then what made me smile or laugh till my sides hurt? But for the purpose of this exercise, for the purpose of emancipating yourself from mental slavery, you're going to focus on the I. What did I do for myself? And you're going to write down all of your wins. The tiniest ones that you normally wouldn't pay attention to, start to pay attention to. So if your goal is to lose weight and you ate an apple today instead of a Snickers, celebrate it, write it down. If you walked 15 steps more than you walked yesterday, write it down. If your goal is to create some great program and you did some research today, write it down. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter the size of the goal or the size of the win, write it down, and here's why. Number one, you have a running list of all the wonderful things you've done, and it really does boost your self-esteem. So when you're looking at that list, you're going through that list, and you're feeling, a little down one day, you go, wow, I did this. Oh my God, I did this, I did this, I did that. And the key is, or the best part about this is this. Most of the time, the things that we wrote down, we forgot about. So that's one of the things. The other thing is that when you're writing this down and you're paying attention to the things that went well, you're training your brain to start to look throughout the day for all of those things that went well. So you're telling your brain, listen, it's important that you pay attention to all of my wins. It's important that you notice the things that went well in my life versus the things that didn't. That doesn't mean you won't see that other side, but your brain will say, gratitude win, gratitude win, gratitude win. And it starts to become really natural. So it boosts your self-esteem, you're training your brain, and it's also a great motivator. So when you start to see all the things that you've done, it motivates you to want to do more. It motivates you to stay on track. So first step is to quiet the mean girl. Second step, set yourself up for success. Third step is to celebrate all of your wins. And the fourth step is this: surround yourself with people that support you. So if you have a group of people and who think they're supporting you, but they're really the naysayers in your life, they're the ones who are saying, you know, it's been done before. Why are you wasting your time? You know, you already have a job. Why do you want to start a side hustle? You're going to be too tired. Kind of like the ones in your head that are talking, but these are the ones that are saying it out loud, and they're your support system. That's what I'm talking about. So you need to say to those people, thank you for caring, and then go find people that really will support you and really will say to you, are you on track? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And who keep you in line. And again, there's so many places you can go on Facebook. There's so many groups you can join. So just to recap again, number one, have a mantra ready so that you can quiet that inner mean boy or girl. Number two, put a plan in place. Number three, celebrate your wins. And number four, surround yourself with people who are really going to lift you up. If you would love to get a copy of the free gratitude calendar I put out each month and a copy of the gratitude action planner, please text the word grateful, that's GRATEFUL, to 64600, or go to my website, livingingratitudetoday.com, and grab the Living in Gratitude Today, grab the free gratitude calendar, and I will also send the gratitude planner with it. Thank you very much. I look forward to hearing from you.
Wow, I tell you right now, you did it again, girl. I mean, you just smacked it right out of the park because goodness. I knew that energy was coming. I knew that from you being on 2 times before. And I really liked what you said there. And in fact, I wrote it down. My writing's not real good, but I take notes. And about quiet the harmful inner voice in your mind. And that's very important because I liked when you brought out about Henry Ford. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right either way. And I'm going to cut on the mic for Chirag here and ask him to start his video in case he wants to make a comment when I'm finished about your speaking there. And, you also said, set yourself up for success. That is so critical, isn't it?
Yes.
It really is. I've seen a lot of people miss that because they just don't get rid of some of the junk in their life that prevents them. It's kind of like, take the shackle off. You can't go swimming with a cement block shackled to your leg. And celebrate your wins. That's tremendous, very tremendous. And forgive yourself when you don't get everything done in one day, and just celebrate what you can do.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that you talked about the circle of support personnel. And there's been several people that said it, but it's so true. I remember growing up, my parents always told me, you're known by the company you keep. They were very concerned about that. My mother used to always say, if you can't say something nice about someone, don't say anything at all those things. But it's so true, because if you take the 5 people that you hang out with the most, your average of those 5. So you owe it to yourself to make sure you associate with like-minded people who want to network with you, who want to help you, who want to bless you. And I tell you right now, you just, another tremendous, inspiring presentation. And I want to thank you for making this show such a success, because it's people like you that make this show a success. And
thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here. You're always such a delight. You're always so full of life and energy. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, because I feed off of you guys, and look who my inner circle of support is today, folks. I mean, we're living proof right in front of you. And Chirag, I imagine you were really impressed with what this Maya shared with us.
Of course. So she spoke about gratitude. You're right. So many people when they are chasing success, they miss out on that gratitude feeling, right? The first step is to thank yourself first. It's really important to have that feeling of gratitude. So it was really great, Miss Maya. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, it's time now. We got this young man here. He's going to be talking to us about your passion can change the world. And this is his first time being with us. And let me give you the spotlight. And we're so glad that you're here. We're all very excited to hear your message.
Thank you very much.
And let me, yes, sir. Let me mute my mic and turn off my video, and the stage is yours.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chirag Sheth. I'm an author of 2 books and a motivational speaker. At the age of 20, I'm probably one of the youngest leadership resource people in the world. You know, once I read a quote by Steve Jobs, and it went, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." So today I decided to speak about a very important topic, which I feel can affect millions of youth around the world. I'm going to speak about your passion can change the world. And to make it interesting, I'll give you my very own example on why I chose this topic. Right. So it was 4 years back when I was thinking of writing my second book. It's called The A to Z of Motivation. I was very confused about the topic. So it happened randomly. I went to a park with one of my friends. And as I was walking around, I overheard a son talking to his parent. And the son was telling him, "Dad, I don't feel like working anymore. I give my everything at the job, yet I haven't received a raise, neither a promotion. I don't feel like I'm making any impact." And that's when it struck me that there are so many people around me right now, millions of youth, who are chasing these materialistic things like money or promotion at a job rather than bettering their own skill sets because they are not passionate about the job they do. I'm sorry. And I meet people every day who do very well financially, but they are not satisfied with the job they do currently. It's just because they haven't found out their purpose yet. And this formed the basis for me to speak about this very important topic: your passion can change the world. And I believe the society is to be held responsible for creating these substandard stereotypes that tell us that money and fame are the only 2 metrics that can take you anywhere you want and can get you anything you want. Right? And I personally, I have been subject to these stereotypes myself because I was a 17-year-old guy who wanted to become an author and a motivational speaker, and which was quite unorthodox for someone of my age, right? So I met these publishers and I wrote to these institutes where I wanted to speak at, and they turned me down under the premise, under the assumption that I was not experienced enough. And they made me believe time and time again that experience can only be gained through age. But I knew inside my heart that age was just a number. And I got to work and I fought through all these stereotypes only to become the world's youngest leadership resource person. And this was only possible because I was persistent and I was passionate about the change that I wanted to bring. Right. So after 2 years, 3 years of being a motivational speaker and addressing over 20,000 people, many of them come and tell me that they are not satisfied with what they are doing currently. And my answer to all of them has been quite common. I always tell them that you haven't found your purpose yet. You haven't found something that you are passionate about. And that's the reason you aren't satisfied. Right? And I feel it's not their mistake either. Right? They have been dealt a wrong hand at seeing how they look at life. They have been subject to these substandard stereotypes and these preset standards by the society, of course, which tells them to operate within the given parameters. You know how they say that you need to have a good career by 30 and you need to get married by 38. Who makes such rules? I don't know. These substandard rules have plagued so many people, so many talented and beautifully smart people that I meet. And now they are so afraid of going against these stereotypes because they feel if they do something against the society, something will go wrong and eventually it will destroy their career. So these people, who are afraid of going against the society now, they either try to fulfill their parents' expectations of themselves, and or they try to keep up with the society standards. And in this journey, in this long way, they literally lose sight of themselves, and they literally lose sight of what they really wish to achieve. Apart from the society, there is one more thing that stops the people out there from getting what they want, from going after the things they really want to achieve. It's called failure, right? People are so afraid of failing that they are ready to compromise for the mediocre things, for the status quo, just to avoid the humiliation they would suffer if they failed at something, right? But you need to understand that it's all about going the extra mile to surpass those obstacles. I have seen a lot of failures, right? I was rejected by more than 10 publishers in the start. I was rejected by the institutes where I wanted to speak at. But one thing I knew for sure was that I loved writing more than I hated failing at writing. I loved writing more than I hated failing at writing. I loved writing more than I loved my own ego, which is ultimately to say, I loved writing more than I loved myself. And that's how I pushed it through. You know, when you find something that you are really passionate about, when you find something that you really love more than yourself, you will always find a way to push through it, and you will always find a way to, surpass those obstacles. Secondly, there is a trend going on around in the youth that people are taking up jobs which they perceive to be these sure shot money making careers, right? So there's a trend always, sometimes at finance, people opt for finance because they think the outcome, the profits, the money, which will probably come after 15, 20, 30 years, they perceive the outcome to be enormous. So they are chasing the outcome, right? My point being, these people are in love with the outcome, the result. They are in love with the result. To be passionate, and this is what kills passion, right? To be in love with the outcome is what kills passion. To be passionate means to be in love with what you are doing. To be passionate means to be in love with the process and not worrying about the result, right? And that's the reason passionate people tend to be these great entrepreneurs and these great leaders we know, because they don't care about the result. They care about the action. They care about the change in the society they bring with their passion, they bring with their actions. We see these influential people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jimi Hendrix, Eminem, right, who are really inspiring. But if you look at them, what makes them inspiring is their passion. And not only their passion for the product or services, but the passion to create a change with their own actions is what makes them inspiring. I have always believed that your passion is more powerful than your profession. You can work all your life at a 9 to 5 job, but you are more likely to succeed at what your passion is. Right? And last but not the least, you can change the world no matter what people say. You got to go out there, you got to maintain the grind, you got to do the hard work, because you and only you can change your reality and no one else. Thank you very much.
Be sure and share your website and your email address so people can get in touch with you.
So, guys, you can get in touch with me on my website. It's www.a2zofmotivation.com. And my email address is chirakshay2929@gmail.com. I'd really love to hear from you. Thank you very much.
You bet. And thank you so very much. And I'll tell you right now, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the cameras on here for everybody. And let's start the video. And we're going to do a gallery here. And it's going to have a good visit. I'm going to start off, if I may, and then I'm going to turn the mic over to Ms. Maya. And I tell you right now, young man, I really appreciate you having the courage to speak up. When you were talking about the age and things like that, one thing popped in my mind. I've encouraged a young lady that I know that's in her 20s now.
Mm-hmm.
She had a horrible childhood,
Right.
a horrible life. She went through being raped. Went through drugs. She went through seeing people killed in her house, not in her house, but in her backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And she survived all that. And if you talk to her and met her, you think she came up in a rosy-dozy type of life because it did not destroy her.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, you need to write a book now because that's her passion. I said, don't wait till you're 40 because think of all the young girls that's going to, fall by the wayside that could just really benefit from your writing. And you're so right about, don't worry about how old you are or anything like that. That's kind of like when I grew up. The big saying was go to school, get a good education, get a good job, and be set for life. Name one place on
Right.
planet Earth where that will work today.
Right.
It won't.
True.
And money is the poorest motivator on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And the sad part about society is that we tend to actually value the things that we can see, touch, and feel,
Right.
and money can buy. And what we really should value is the love that we have for one another, the capacity to love.
Mm-hmm.
We should value our health, our brain. How about the heartbeat in our veins and the breath in the lungs? If you don't have one of them, you're not going to be having a good day. And I mean, this is something money can't buy. And the things that and I say this a lot. I tell people, look at your thumbprint. No one's ever had it before, no one ever have it, after
Right.
you're born. But my point being, your challenge in life is how can you use your talents, your gifts, your abilities that come from the universe that she talked about earlier about, the universe has got my back. That's the energy. How can you take your thumbprint and leave your imprint to help someone in their hour of need? That is when you are successful. Would you agree with that, young man?
True. It's
Yeah.
definitely true. Right.
And Ms. Maya, I want to turn the mic over to you. I mean, you gave a tremendous presentation. I know you got to be impressed with this young man as young as he is.
So I didn't catch your age now. I know you were 17 when you started. How old are you now?
I'm 20 years old now.
Oh, amazing. So I was a high school teacher in South Florida for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, there was a couple of things you said. I love writing more than failing. I love writing more than the failure of rejection. I love writing more than not writing.
Right.
And I think that's amazing that you found that passion, that you found something that you found it and that you listened.
Right.
And it was kind of like, it was a perfect timing that our talks were together because many times people have that calling, but then they're so fearful. They're so scared. They don't know what to do. When I left teaching after 20 years, people thought I lost my mind. What do you mean? You're leaving a pension. You're leaving health insurance. So, my hat's off to you for finding your passion at such a young age.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
For following it. Tell me again, how do I find your book?
It's on Amazon. It's called The A to Z of Motivation. And
Okay.
it's available on my website as well. It's a2zofmotivation.com.
Okay.
The A to Z motivation, A to Z motivation.
A to
Okay,
Z of
good.
motivation. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I tell you right now, it's amazing how all these speakers, how their topics just blend together and all that. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest with you. A lot of people out there think, wow, how does Speaker's Pathway and Jim Grant pull that off? Well, don't tell anybody, just between me and you, we don't. It comes from a higher source. It really does. And the reason why, and this is a true example of what life is, when you're focused on blessing others, you're going to attract others that want to bless others too. And this force behind your back that this Mayo was talking about, I mean, it's going to put it together for you. That's exactly how it happens 100% of the time. And for me to be the host here and be able to, get to know these folks, and this is your third time being on with us, Ms. Maya. And I mean, it's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And in closing, I'm going to turn the mic over to first to you, Ms. Maya, and then to Chirag. And you guys just share anything you want to in closing remarks, please.
So if I could leave you with one thing, is really that part about tapping into gratitude, looking for the things that go right in your life on a regular basis, tapping in or training your brain to find those delicious moments, training your brain to find the things that you did really well. And if you need some help on that, you know, I have a free gratitude calendar I give out. Again, go to livingingratitudetoday.com or text the word grateful to 64600.
Okay, sir, your turn.
So first of all, I really appreciated giving me a platform to speak. Right. Thank you very much, Jim.
You're welcome, sir.
You've been a great host. uh, and last but not least, I would like to say, so everything we do, everything, our actions, they're all about inspiration, hope, and support. The theme, right? So we need to learn to give back to the society in the form of these three things: inspiration, hope, and support. These three things are, you know, you have caught the right essence with the theme, right? I truly believe that everything we do, everything we act, our actions should always support these three things: inspiration, hope, and support. Thank you very much.
You're exactly right, and thank you so very much. And ladies and gentlemen, you know, as you see these speakers here, and you see the speakers we've had on before, we've done about 200. We got about 200 speakers there that we've interviewed, and most importantly, together, we, the people everywhere across this great globe, the entire world, we need to come together. We need to pray for one another. We need to share love. We need to share inspiration. We need to say, hey, I'm going to treat someone that's a total stranger to me the same way I want to be treated. I'm going to show them love and respect. And let's focus on that, because all of the meanness and ugliness we see going on in the world, that's not who we are, no matter where you're from. You know, everybody wants to be loved, and everybody wants to be liked, and everybody wants to be appreciated, and everybody wants to be respected. In fact, when I was a young guy, this is way back when I was young and good looking. I'm talking about way back now. I was young once, you know, but Aretha Franklin had a #1 hit called Respect. And she spelled it out, RESPCT. If we just focus on respecting one another and giving people respect, that's going to be a huge step forward in the right direction. And as we get ready to wrap up our program today, would you like to say something, sir? Go ahead, please.
No, I'm good.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to add to that or not. Feel free to, because I've got no problem with that. But in wrapping up, give everybody a chance to wave goodbye. I'd just like to close the show, always do, with this little comment. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you. And remember, on your birthday, all birthday cakes, all of the special desserts that you love, they're all health foods. So treat yourself, be good to yourself, love yourself, and then you can love others. I'm Jim Grant, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Everybody wave bye. We'll catch you next time on Messages of Inspiration, Hope, and Support. Thank you now. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.